Hey everybody, welcome to Did You Hear About This? I'm Bill.
I'm Scott.
How are you doing?
I'm busy, man. I got a lot going on.
You got a kid's party today.
Dude, as of yesterday, I'm officially the parent of a teenager.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Your life's going to go downhill, sir.
I don't know, man. I feel like I've been dealing with a teenager for several years now. Now it's just official.
Yeah? Why? You got good kids.
Attitude. I don't want to do that. I don't want to go on vacation. I don't want to go here. They don't want to leave the house. All they do is play fucking video games.
Have you tried smacking them?
That's what I would have gotten.
Yeah, I know. Me too. I know. We're not allowed to do that anymore.
No, that's frowned upon.
Yeah.
Definitely frowned upon. So I have to finish up the recording here and then run over and pick up pizzas and strombolis and host a house full of 13-year-olds and family.
You going to do pin the tail and the donkey? And
Yeah, that'll go over great. No, we're not doing any of that weird shit. If it gets warmer, we might turn it into a water balloon fight, but we'll see.
Oh, call me for that. I like a good water balloon fight.
There's these new things out now called reusable water balloons. Have you heard about these?
No.
They're two halves of a silicone shell, and they magnetically stick together. So you stick them in a bucket of water, and they stick together, and you just whale it at somebody, and it hits them, and the magnets burst open, and then you pick it back up and put it back in water, and it's instant refill.
Yeah, but making the water balloons was kind of part of the fun.
Yeah, because you got plastered while you were – the kids that couldn't tie knots, they were soaked to the bone.
They were screwed. Their bombs would explode on them.
Do you remember the water balloons that were printed to look like grenades?
No.
Oh, they were great. They were my favorite.
Did they pop easy?
Oh, they really did, yeah. And they held a shit ton of water.
Man, I haven't done that in forever. Water balloon fight. Did you play with water pistols as a kid?
I did.
Yeah, me too. I was big on those.
When I was 13, the Super Soaker came out.
Yes, the Super Soaker.
That changed the fucking game, man.
Oh, man.
See, before that, I think I talked about it here before, I had this Rambo-branded electronic water gun.
Whoa.
Yeah, you had a pump, like an electric pump in it. You put batteries in it, and it would ding, 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 ding. It would shoot water pretty far. You could switch out the water, because the other part of water guns was having to refill the water gun, much like your point with the water balloons. So with this here, it would actually have a clip, like a pistol clip, that you would just have a clip filled with water. You would just stick in there and quick instant recharge.
Yeah, the water pistols I grew up with were those really shitty ones that would leak. They were just handguns. They were plastic and basically see-through.
Where you're holding it with a little stopper under the bucket. And you're like moving it so the bubbles come out.
Exactly. And then boom, one day you have these like incredibly powerful super soakers that could blow somebody's face off.
You unscrew the thing and just fill it up at the faucet. You were king if you had a super soaker.
We had one that was like a shotgun style. You had to just pull it. And the harder you pulled it, the more pressure. I mean, that thing would sting you. If you got hit in the face with that, that fucking hurt.
We have those at my parents' pool.
That's great. They're still around?
Oh, yeah.
That's an 80s toy.
That's just blasting people in the face. But that's the rest of my day. What do you got going on?
Errands, chores, some music stuff.
Yeah?
Yeah, not any kids' parties, nothing fun like that.
All right.
Yeah, this will be just a normal, no frills weekend for me.
What you been up to? What you been watching?
Been watching, I've been watching, I went down a rabbit hole, as usual, with my Tubi, and I said, I haven't seen Critters in a while. Critters.
Of course you'd find that on Tubi.
And then I go, I haven't seen Critters 2 in a while. And then I said, I haven't seen Critters 3 and 4 in a while. I watched all 4 Critters movies, like, throughout this last week. That and Lionheart, or Ironheart. I keep saying Lionheart. I keep saying the Van Damme movie, Ironheart.
Oh,
the Marvel thing.
The thing on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I tried that.
I haven't.
That's okay. You can skip that one.
Yeah?
Oh, it's terrible.
I've had more of a desire to watch a Netflix documentary about the poop cruise than I have about anything Marvel. And who'd have thought this day would have come?
Yeah, so Amy sent that to me. I sent it to you. I thought it was pretty gross, but you had heard of the poop cruise.
Oh, yeah. I remember when it was happening, the Carnival cruise that was floating around with no power and open bars and no working toilets.
Yeah, quickly, what's the story on that?
That's about it.
The power went out, and then I guess the cruise captain and everybody on board who was in charge said, all right, here's what you need to do since the toilets aren't working.
Shit into a bag.
Shit into a bag and put it outside of your cabin door, and we'll collect it every day. If you have to pee in the shower.
Piss in the shower.
And how long did this happen for?
At least 4 days. I didn't watch the documentary yet, but I'm going to much earlier than what I watch Ironheart.
Can you imagine how hot it got in there?
No.
The air wasn't working. The poop was out
No.
in the hallway just melting.
So the reason I didn't watch it, I had time to watch it. I was going to sit down and turn it on and at least have it on in the background. I was like, oh, Jenna might want to watch this. But then I forgot she kind of wants to go on a cruise in the near future. And she's like, I don't think I want to watch this. And I was like, all right, fair enough.
So
I think
gross.
you should watch to be an informed consumer of what could go wrong.
Yeah, I think you got a point there. Make her watch it.
Yeah.
Well, that's too stinky for me. I'm not going to check that one out.
Speaking of movies with horrible sequels like your Critters,
I didn't say they were horrible.
yeah, they are though.
They are awful.
I followed the assignment. I watched Jaws.
I forgot to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it as good as you remember? Well, you
Yeah.
watch it every year.
I do watch it every year, but even still, there's not parts that I forget. Well, maybe I do forget. I forget how good they are. Like the part where the guy takes his wife's Sunday roast and puts on a big chain hook and throws it off the dock, and then the shark that we never see pulls the whole dock with him on it out into the lake.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And then he's like swimming back, and the guy that's still up in the remaining part of the dock was like, come on, man, come on, don't look back.
Yeah.
I forgot how good that part of that scene was. Like so early on, and it's just like, oh man, like so many of the bigger scenes are remembered, of course, more often, but that scene was fantastic.
Yeah, the buildup, like when they went under the water and they found that dead guy.
That dead guy was Ben Gardner.
Oh, you even know the name, the name of the dead guy. Like that's just like one of those little like building up to the big, grand finale. But all those scenes are great too.
Yeah.
They're captivating.
Yeah.
Even the small scenes are great. Yeah, it's a perfect movie.
Fantastic character building. I love when they have Chief Brody sitting on the beach and they do like that zoom in shot when it's so fucking good.
That is cool. That is cool. I think that's the first time I've ever seen that shot. Now you see it in like every horror movie.
I know. That may have been the OG though. But even though you failed the assignment, Bill, I do not regret watching Jaws.
I'll watch it. I'll watch it this summer. I'll keep my word. I don't know that Amy's ever seen it.
Ever?
Maybe she has. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know. So I'll try to watch it with her. And then I'll go down the rabbit hole and watch 2 and 3 and 4.
I guess my question is, do I watch it again and show the kids?
Ooh, are they ready for it? He's a teenager now.
Yeah, but we spent a lot of time at the beach. Is that going to ruin the rest of my summer or his summer?
Yeah. Oh, it might. I don't know. That movie has an effect on people.
For sure.
It didn't scare me. It didn't get me to not go in the water, but I know it freaked my mom out.
As often as I watched, I have to imagine Janice saw it. But maybe I'm just assuming she paid attention while it was on.
Yeah?
I might be watching this again.
The music is great, too.
John Williams is so fantastic.
It's haunting. Like, when you hear that, you're like, shit, we're going to get fucked up.
And even the part where it sounds like seagulls, like he was very much copying, like, Melville and Captain Ahab, and that's what Quint was. It was very much Moby Dick.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I never read Moby Dick.
No?
No. Isn't that like one of them really long books?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's why I never read it.
It's a biggin.
I can handle comic book sized literature.
Now, when I was in band in high school, there was a piece called 4 Scenes from Melville, and it was music inspired by the novel Moby Dick, and they have like the trumpets sound like seagulls, and Williams did that very much in his like little dancey part of the soundtrack is fantastic. You're absolutely right. The score is fantastic.
The scene where they hook the giant air...
The barrels?
The barrels, yeah. And like the music's upbeat.
Yeah.
I like that part.
Yeah, because they're just out fishing on the lake.
Yeah. It's amazing how important, and I never realized this when I was young. I see it now every time I watch a movie, how important a good score is to making the movie so much better.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Yeah. Like Critters didn't have a good score.
No.
But if it had,
was that the problem with it?
I think that was what was wrong. The movie was otherwise perfect.
It
The
had
score
the
was
acting,
bad.
it had the script, it had the story, man. It was all there except for that score.
Oh, the 4th one, they went to space. It was crazy.
Oh, I don't think I ever saw part 4 then.
It's so bad. Part 3 had Leonardo DiCaprio
I
in
knew
it.
that. Was that one of his first roles?
I think. Yeah. Didn't he go on Growing Pains after that?
Yeah.
Or before that? I don't know. I don't know the order. I'm not that big a Leo fan.
Yeah, I guess I'm not either. But he was definitely on Growing Pains.
Yeah, it's weird to see him as a little kid. He was good. He was actually a pretty good actor. He was better than everybody else.
Better than Skippy.
He was better than the Critters. Better than Skippy. Are you confusing Family Ties?
You said Family Ties. Oh, Growing Pains.
Growing Pains.
Better than Ben Seaver.
Wow, you're good. You're good with names. What was the name of the little kid?
I know it was Elise and Steven were the parents, and Mallory was the sister.
Wow. I don't remember any of this.
And Michael J. Fox played...
No, you're going back to
Family.
Family.
Oh, God damn it. Then I messed it up. That was Family Ties as well. So Alan Thicke played Mike Seaver.
Seaver, yeah.
And he was Ben Seaver, right?
Ben? Was that the little kid?
Maybe.
Was there a Schmitty in there? I remember a Schmitty Seaver.
Now I'm thinking Ben Seaver was like a baseball pitcher or something. I could be way off the fucking left field here.
And you got the daughter's name? Mallory?
No, that was Family Ties as well.
Yeah, that was Family Ties.
I mixed the two of those up quite a bit.
Yeah, it's easy to do.
Yeah.
Our brains are rotting away as we get older.
Yep. Yeah, other than that, not a whole lot going on, just a lot of work. 4th of July's coming up next week.
You doing anything for that?
Going down to the beach. Hitting up Wildwood.
Oh, we should go. So we were supposed to go hang out together at Dan's party, and I didn't make it. I bailed.
Yeah, I was there.
You went.
It was a good time.
I was sick. I actually got sick. I was feeling terrible. And then he's like, we're going to have a fire pit. So I'm like, give me the day to try to get better. I'll get over there around 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. You guys were already in the pool by like 2 p.m. I was like, this thing's all out
We
of
were
it.
in the pool. We were grilling.
Yeah.
Good times.
I missed it. But yeah, I thought it was a nighttime thing.
Could have been.
So Amy was out shopping all afternoon anyway. She's like, what time is this thing? I'm like, I don't know. We haven't put together a time. So I don't know. You guys got it done.
You were on the same text message chain as I was, buddy.
Well, fire pit to me is 7 o'clock.
You have a fire pit anytime.
I guess. Oh, well. Throw another little get-together, Dan, and I'll skip that one, too.
Oh, you have a deck now. You have a brand new deck. You're throwing the next one.
All right. We're getting one of those Brio fire, smokeless fire pits.
Fire rings. Yep.
Yeah, so that'll go on the deck and hopefully not burn it down.
Just melt right through the middle.
We're getting a stand so that doesn't happen. We're getting a mat under that stand. I'm terrified of the Trex deck melting from the heat. But everything I read says that this is deck safe. We'll see. We'll see when it catches fire. I'll be the one that, the fluke happens to.
If it can happen, it's going to happen to you.
It's going to happen to me.
Save your receipt. All right, what we got to talk about this week?
Well, I got a bunch of news stories, but one thing that you sent over, I thought that would be a cool thing to kick off on. The rock songs of the summer.
Yes.
For each year from the 1990s. And this hits me right in my feels because I'm playing in a cover band that's doing 90s stuff. I've really been getting back into 90s rock.
Yeah.
And I love it. Like it's bringing back a lot of cool feelings. And then you sent this over and I skimmed it. I didn't read this full thing. I'm going to let you kind of walk us through it. But I love revisiting some of these old songs.
So yeah, each year of the decade of the 90s, this is from Loudwire. Basically they show you the number one rock song of that year. But the thing I really liked about this story was that there were also other songs of note that came out that year. And that's where the surprises came in for me.
Yeah.
So I thought this would be something worth talking about. So you kind of summarized it perfectly. I mean, Loudwire, the rock songs of the summer for each year of the 1990s. I can't get any more simplified than that. So we will start with 1990. What do you think it was?
Well,
you have the story up.
Yeah, I'm looking at it too. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. That's all right. Billy Idol's Cradle of Love.
Yes,
That was the number one?
That was a huge song. Yeah. But looking at the rest of the list that we'll go over, is it the number one song compared to them? That was a little surprising.
This is what blew my mind because when in 1990, I was all about John Bon Jovi's Blaze of Glory from the Young Guns soundtrack.
Yeah, that was big.
That was everywhere. That was my thing. Warrant's Cherry Pie.
That was huge.
Insanely huge.
I gotta think that was bigger than Billy Idol.
It certainly had better lasting power.
Think about Billy Idol had a whole career before that resurgence. And that video, that was a sexy video. I loved the girl in that video. So I remember the Billy Idol video really vividly.
Okay. Poison's Unskinny Bop. I mean, that was not good Poison.
Oh, I loved it.
But that was not Open Up and Say Ah's Poison.
I remember waiting for the premiere on MTV, and it was like 8 o'clock on Saturday night, and I was there. Brother Steve was there. My friend Bill was there. I had a friend named Bill. 2 Bills. There's a lot of Bills in my life.
There really are.
All my parents, both sides, named Bill, including my mother. You skipped Nelson, Love and Affection.
Yeah, that wasn't a mistake. I do remember Nelson's Love and Affection. The Nelsons in general were just bullshit to me. Yeah. I didn't care.
No, me neither.
This one really surprised me because I didn't get into this band until probably 93, 94. 9 Inch Nails' Head Like a Hole came out in 1990.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Because I was in high school. I guess I was a sophomore, and people listened to that. I saw 9 Inch Nails shirts, but I was kind of scared of it. Industrial seemed a little bit too heavy for me. I was like, I'm into this hair metal stuff. I'm into softer hard rock, and that just seemed like thrash death metal to me. And then when I listened to it, I was like, oh, it's not that at all.
No. More like you said, industrial.
Yeah.
More like technical.
I thought it was more like Ministry, and that shit was just too thrashy for me.
Or like Ghost that's out now, like that crazy shit.
Oh, that's a weird band because they're constantly changing their style.
I know. The stuff I know of them, though, is like real death metal type shit.
Yeah, well, it turns out 9 Inch Nails wasn't death metal. And as soon as I heard that song and finally got into it, I was like, oh, this is a great band.
But was it the hardest music that was out at the time?
Popular? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, there was definitely some like counterculture stuff going on that wasn't going to make this list, but that was probably the heaviest popular music that was available. Because Sepultura came out like, what, 92?
I don't even know. I didn't listen to heavy metal.
And then Pantera would have been like 93.
Maybe. Yeah. I listened to heavy metal for a clip in the 80s.
Yeah.
I listened to like Halloween and Exodus and
Exodus.
Shit like that. And then I stopped listening to heavy metal for a while. So
yeah, I mean, look at 1990. Like I said, John Bon Jovi's Blaze of Glory, and then Aerosmith's The Other Side. Like that's where I was. And then I knew Heart's All I Want to Do Is Make Love to You because my mom listened to Top 40 radio.
Motley Crue, Don't Go Away Mad. I remember that. That was like a sort of a balladish type of thing.
And then In Excess's Suicide Blonde.
Social Distortion, Ring of Fire was a hit.
I didn't think it was. I kind of didn't expect that to make this list.
Yeah, that's weird. That's the Johnny Cash cover.
Yep. 91 was no surprise to me whatsoever. Do you want to take number 1 there from 91?
Yeah, Metallica, Enter Sandman. Everybody
Dude,
I know.
Fucking everywhere.
Every guitar player I knew was trying to learn that riff.
Dude, the whole Black Album was just it.
I got into a little bit of a Metallica kick over the last week. I was listening to the Load album. And just to think about how different they sounded doing the early 90s stuff, because grunge is coming in, they're like, we got to survive this.
Yeah.
Let's change our sound a little bit. Cut our hair, remember? We weren't wearing leather. We were now wearing shorts.
Yeah.
And people revolted.
Yeah.
But I loved it. I thought the change sounded great because I wasn't that big of a Metallica fan growing up. Now I hear the difference between old Metallica and 90s Metallica, and I'm like, that is pretty big.
Yeah, but my problem was even bigger and we'll get into it here in the next few years, but the gap between like Ride the Lightning and Kill 'Em All and Black was minuscule compared to the gap between Metallica's Black Album and Load and Reloaded.
Really? Because I think the Black Album and Load and Reloaded are closer than And Justice for All, Kill 'Em All, and all those other ones.
Really?
Yeah, I hear the line being right at this album.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
You thought the Black Album was a heavy metal album? I thought it was a hard rock album.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. It was a hard rock album, but like I felt they really, like you're saying people were pissed off because they cut their hair and they sold out and all that bullshit. For me, that was the Reloaded albums.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know those albums that well.
Yeah.
They were every song, when I was listening to the When I was listening to the Load album, I was like, every one of these songs were on the radio practically.
Yeah, absolutely.
I forgot about that.
They fucking sold out, man.
Yeah.
Other ones from 91. Guns N' Roses, You Could Be Mine.
I loved this song. I was excited for Terminator 2. The video came out. It was a Terminator 2 soundtrack song.
That's right, because Edward Furlong,
I think.
He was listening to it on his boombox in T2.
I still love this song.
Van Halen's Pound Cake.
I love that song. I was a huge Van Halen fan still.
See, now 91, beyond Enter Sandman, for me, it was like Tom Petty's Learning to Fly.
Oh, you got Pearl Jam Alive here?
Pearl Jam
that was
Alive.
big.
Yeah, but I don't know if I knew Pearl Jam Alive until like at least 92, 93 that I started getting into grunge.
Oh, really?
Like, I was surprised grunge came out as early as 91. I didn't think the 10 album from Pearl Jam was out in 1991 already.
Where is Nirvana on this list? Because I think they came out in 92.
We're getting there.
Okay.
We're getting there.
So this was that period where grunge was still kind of mixed in with
Yes.
hair metal
Both
and hard
were
rock.
coexisting.
And then you still had things like Aerosmith, Metallica, Van Halen. Somehow they survived all of that.
See, but both were coexisting. But right here in 91 already, you can start to see there was some desperation. Because here, the last one on this list, we have Anthrax and Public Enemy teaming up to bring the noise.
Which is a great song.
I know.
It's
a good song, but it seemed like, okay, we're getting a little, we have to do something here, guys. We got to stay relevant. Grunge is taking the fuck over.
Yeah. You got here to a band that I love. I love the band.
I know where you're going. Yeah.
Extreme.
Yeah,
I
knew you
love
were gonna
it.
say
But
it.
more than words.
Yeah, that's not a rock song?
Not at all.
Not at all.
It's so different than everything else they do. And that song got big, and everybody was like, I love this song. I'm like, you got to listen to the album. It's even better. And people would listen to the album, come back and go, it's hard. The rest of the album's horrible because it doesn't sound like more than words.
Yeah.
There's about 3 people in my life that I tried to get them into Extreme after they heard that song who said, I hate this band. They just sound like guitar twiddly diddly shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's why I love them.
Yeah, it was not a gateway song. Not for Extreme.
No. Gateway song. Yeah, I love that band. I still, to this day, think Extreme is probably one of the most underrated bands because people just have not discovered how good they are.
Yeah.
And it's a corny name, Extreme.
It is.
Like, you don't want to get into a band called Extreme, but they're so good.
It sounds like a band that should have had songs on this list in the 1990s, though.
Yeah.
Extreme. 92, we got Red Hot Chili Peppers, Under the Bridge. This is another song, more of a ballad, but everywhere, and still has lasting power to this day.
And that came out after Give It Away and Suck My Kiss. So I'm surprised those songs didn't chart.
Yeah. I don't know.
Under the Bridge was huge, though.
It has to be their biggest song.
Probably. Yeah, that's probably their banner song.
And then from Use Your Illusion 1, we got Guns N' Roses Knocking on Heaven's Door, also in 92 here. I had this album. I had both albums.
Yeah, I didn't care for that cover.
No?
No.
The big one off of this was November Rain.
Yeah. Don't Cry was big.
Yeah. Was that Use Your Illusion?
Oh, I mix up 1 and 2. Yeah, Don't Cry was one of them.
I think that may have been the blue and purple one. I was bigger on the red and yellow one.
Yeah.
I can't remember which is
Me
which,
neither.
though.
Me neither.
Shit.
I haven't listened to those in forever.
But also in 92, as you kind of foretold, we got Nirvana here with Lithium.
That's a good song.
Fantastic. The Cure, Friday I'm in Love.
I thought that was older.
I thought it was too.
Oh, another Metallica on here.
Nothing Else Matters.
Yeah, that was a
That
huge
was a good song.
This is a good year. Jeremy from Pearl Jam. That was big.
That was also off of 10. U2 still being relevant with Even Better Than the Real Thing. That was off the Octung Baby album.
Even better than the real thing. That's not coming to me. I was not that big a U2 fan ever.
I was.
Yeah, and I know they're great.
My parents were. Joshua Tree was a great album.
Yeah, I know they're great. I just can't get into them.
Joshua Tree to this was as big of a departure as Black and Load for Metallica.
Yeah.
I would say. Alice in Chains, Wood.
Oh, I love that song.
Fantastic song.
We play that in our cover band.
Black Crowes Remedy.
How about Megadeth's Symphony of Destruction?
Symphony of Destruction.
Was that a big song?
For Megadeth it was, but Megadeth never really was as big as Metallica or the other big ones.
No, and I like, this is going to get me beat up by a lot of heavy metal guys, but I like Megadeth better than Metallica. As great as Metallica is, I think Megadeth is just awesome.
I feel like they had better publicity.
Publicity? Megadeth?
No, Metallica.
Metallica, for sure. Yeah, they had full marketing engines behind them and record support. And
they were the darlings of MTV. Like, Megadeth wasn't getting all the cover, all the play that Metallica was.
Well, the songs are pretty different.
Yeah.
I don't know.
1993. I would have been 13 this year. Aerosmith's Get a Grip album came out, and the world was introduced to Alicia Silverstone in Crying.
Hated this song.
Yeah, I love this album, though.
Yeah, I bailed on them at this point. I loved Pump, But then this album,
Pump
I was
was
like, I'm
good.
not that into this.
Pump had on what? Get a Grip?
Pump had Love in an Elevator.
Love in an Elevator. That's right. Get a Grip's the name of this album. What the fuck am I talking about? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and then Alicia Silverstone was in every single Aerosmith movie off of this album, I feel.
Video, yeah.
Yeah, every video, off this album. Other big ones. Now we're getting into like this poppy bullshit, like the Gin Blossoms with Hey Jealousy.
Well, my band does that one too, unfortunately.
Soul Asylum's Runaway Train.
Oh, hated that one.
You know who else was big this year? They're not on this list because they shouldn't be, because this is rock music. But this is right around the time where like people fell in love with fucking Hootie and the Blowfish.
Yeah.
That was the same year.
Yeah, this is the year I graduated. I'm looking at this list going, there's a lot of songs that I did not like.
Meatloaf's big resurgence in 93 with I Would Do Anything for Love.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't do that.
I went to the concert of that tour.
Really?
Meatloaf, yeah, because Meatloaf had a comeback. And the girl I was dating at the time in high school, she was like, I love Meatloaf. We got to go see Meatloaf.
My sister-in-law, Jen, she's a crazy Meatloaf fan.
Really?
Insanely huge.
Oh, wow.
The song that introduced me to REM was Losing My Religion. This one here in 93, though, with Everybody Hurts, hated it.
Hated it. Yeah.
Hated it.
Same.
The other big thing in 93, though, Stone Temple Pilots were getting big. Sex Type Thing came out. And I think the following year was when The Crow came out and they were doing Big Empty.
See, I'm surprised Sex Type Thing was, I thought Plush was their bigger song. But
I
then
think you're right.
I keep forgetting, this is the summer.
This is the summer of
Right, this isn't the
1993.
best of the year. This is the summer.
Right.
Yeah.
Smashing Pumpkins, Cherub Rock, they're coming on the scene.
Love that song.
Love it. The Breeders, I don't care. Cracker. Def Leppard's Two Steps Behind, possibly the worst Def Leppard song ever written.
I'm a Def Leppard fan. I don't even remember that song.
You know why? It came out on the Last Action Hero soundtrack.
Oh.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Right. I remember that being a pretty good soundtrack, actually.
Great soundtrack. I think it's the only way that the song came out. I don't think it ever made a Def Leppard album. Nirvana's Heart-Shaped Box.
Yep.
That was huge.
That was big.
I mean, and then Blind Melon's No Rain, which we're getting into like the nouveau hippie age there in 93. Woodstock 94 was coming out the following year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, of these, I'd have to say Meatloaf's I Would Do Anything for Love and Heart-Shaped Box got to be, and Cherub Rock. They're probably the ones with the most staying power.
Yeah, the Hey Jealousy, the Soul Asylum, like those kind of bands were just wimpy.
Yeah.
To me. And
so bad.
I wasn't into wimpy stuff.
Yeah.
And we were getting into the grunge age where things were getting harder and meaner.
And by this article, by being included in this article, shows that they were being considered rock. And this is what was being sold to us as rock at the time. And I was like, not my rock, buddy.
No. Yeah, it was
You
almost
know?
like there's too many record companies trying to push too much product. And it was just like grab anything off the street and make it a single.
But then 94 came along and the industry completely redeemed themselves.
Yeah, this is a good list.
Soundgarden's Black Hole Sun off the, what was that? It wasn't Super Unknown.
I think it was.
Was it? Oh, yeah, because the other one was Bad Motor.
Bad Motorfinger.
Black Hole Sun was fucking everywhere. Talk about a music video that MTV pushed down our throats. Every hour, every half hour maybe, you were seeing Black Hole Sun.
With the faces that were all
Everyone was
stretching.
getting sucked into the black hole. That fucking Great Dane was sitting there. His eyes got real big.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could pretty much walk you through that video scene by scene. Here we go. Hootie and the Blowfish. They actually made this list here for 93 with Hold My Hand. Oh, God.
Yeah.
The Offspring. I was pretty big into The Offspring at this time. Come Out and Play.
I was big.
Sheryl Crow. All I Want to Do.
Yeah.
Saw her in concert.
Yeah, we did. In Philly.
Philly. It was free, people. Don't judge us. It was free. It was 4th of July.
I like Sheryl Crow.
I
I'm
do
okay
too.
with Sheryl Crow.
I do too. 9 Inch Nails Closer. This is when it was what the hell was the name of the album? The Downward Spiral.
That's 9 Inch Nails.
That's what I'm talking about here with Closer.
Oh my God, I'm looking at the list wrong. I thought you were talking about Stone Temple Pilots. That's the next one on the list.
Yeah, no, I'm just jumping through the ones that stood out to me from this here. But 9 Inch Nails Closer off of Downward Spiral. That was probably that was my mindset in 93.
Yeah.
That and or 94, I'm sorry. That and Black Hole Sun and Soundgarden. That's where I was pretty much living. But then as I say that, I read here, you said Stone Temple Pilots, Big Empty, Vaseline, like they blew up. Their Interstate Love Song, that was a huge album.
So they had a bunch of
3
hits.
songs in the summer of 94.
Yeah. Yeah, they were big.
But then Green Day's Basket Basket Case came out on the Dookie album. Dookie was like the biggest thing. It was like the new punk rock. The new what do they call that? I guess it was new punk rock, even though it was barely punk rock.
Yeah, I never got into Green Day.
No?
They always smelled funny to me. I do like Basket Case, but everything else was a little bit like, it's all right. But I saw everybody going crazy for him.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I was guilty of that.
Yeah, not me.
We got Aerosmith sticking around with Crazy. I'm surprised it was still 94 and Aerosmith was still... That was like the second Alicia Silverstone video.
Which sounds exactly like crying.
It does. It does. Weezer. This is the first time I heard of Weezer with Undone, the sweater song.
I avoided Weezer, too.
Did you?
Wimpy shit. I didn't like the wimpy stuff.
Buddy Holly was out there then, too. I can't say I hated it. I mean, I did have the album. But,
yeah.
And then Candlebox. Candlebox was some wimpy shit with Far Behind.
I did like that one, though.
You did?
Yeah. Candlebox is pretty cool. For me. Live Selling the Drama.
Live was a local band for us here. They were from York.
Yep.
But they were, I mean, that was some wimpy shit, too.
They had a couple bangers, like I Alone. I love that song.
Yeah.
That's got some balls to it, but they were hit or miss with me.
Oasis, Live Forever. I didn't care for Oasis. I still don't care. Too much. As much as you love drama, Oasis is like too much drama for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Their story is annoying. It's like, figure it out. Work together. You guys have so much money you can make.
Yeah.
Be friends, guys.
Then we had Counting Crows with Round Here. I do like Counting Crows. I didn't appreciate him at the time, but I've learned to love Counting Crows.
Yeah. You can put them on the list with the Gin Blossoms and Solace.
They're better than that. Don't negate them to that bullshit. I mean, come on. Mr. Jones is a fantastic song. And then Getting Heavy, a new breed of heaviness with Korn. Korn came on the scene with Blind in 94.
Were you a Korn fan?
No, I'm still not a Korn fan.
I like it. I appreciate it. It's another one of those bands that I guess I should have liked, but I just didn't.
At the time, I was like, and the kids that did were like way too into it for me to get that into anything. So I was like, these kids are fucking losers.
Yeah, them and Limp Bizkit. Like I'm just.
See, I was more into Limp Bizkit because it was more rappy. I got into like the rap thing. Like around 92, 93, I was all about Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre.
Yeah, not me.
I mean, I grew up in an urban scene.
Yeah, well, you did. Yeah, so that was the music that was around.
Yeah.
I was white suburbs, like, all that stuff was just rock stuff. So maybe I just got used to what I was listening to. But as soon as all that rap rock started to happen, I was like, I'm out. I don't want any of this.
Yeah, I think like right around the time when Biohazard and who was it? Biohazard and Noah.
Oh, yeah.
Was it Noah? Who was the
Onyx
other band?
or something?
Onyx and Biohazard did Slam. Yeah. That was like 93, 94.
The Judgment Night soundtrack.
That was huge.
I did like that, but that seemed to have started the whole rap rock thing.
Yeah. Yeah. At least that's how I remember it.
POD. I remember all that shit. I hated
that. That was much later, though, wasn't it?
Is that even in the 90s? I don't know.
Think it was. But 1995 comes along with possibly the greatest, I can't say greatest, but most successful album of the 90s. Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill comes out with You Ought to Know.
I loved that song.
Dude, I think every fucking single off of that album went number one. The fact that there's only one song off of that made this list blows my mind.
Yeah.
But You Ought to Know is a great song.
Yeah, she had hit after hit after hit.
Do you know who played music, like who backed her for the recording of that?
Flea and Dave Navarro.
Flea and Dave Navarro. I just read that story. I just learned that this week.
Well, there's two versions on the album of that song, and one has Flea and Dave Navarro because they were doing their thing in the Red Hot Chili Peppers when they came out with One Hot Minute.
Oh, right. I thought it was Californication, but you're right. It was One Hot Minute.
Right.
The one before.
It was when John Frusciante took a break.
Yep.
And that's a cool version, but they're still pretty similar.
Yeah.
But you're right. Such a great song.
Every song on the album was crazy. Also happening there in 95, and this would have been like my sophomore year in high school, we had White Zombie with More Human Than Human. That was great.
That song. Love it. Love that
I think you hear like every single hockey game ever right now.
Do you?
Yeah, like the opening. Just how heavy the opening is.
Isn't there a girl having sex? Like,
yeah.
We're okay with that. We just played in the hockey games.
But it was always the rumor. You know what I mean? Like, it was always like, oh, hell, he's having sex. But she also could have been getting chased and like like in a horror movie kind of thing. It was just like kind of like moaning. Maybe she was, I don't know. But it was just like, oh, can't believe Hootie and the Blowfish is still sticking around here with Only Want to Be With You. And then Jim Blossoms, Till I Hear It From You. I barely know that one. But how can you have like White Zombie followed by the Jim Blossoms and Hootie and the Blowfish, and Live's still around with Lightning Crashes, which is like their most pussiest of all songs. But then Foo Fighters is back on the scene because this is maybe their first album. This Is a Call.
Yeah, that is their first album.
Because Dave Grohl did the solo thing, or not solo thing, but Dave Grohl formed Foo Fighters after the passing of Kurt Cobain.
This is when I started my first year at Penn State main campus when I was away, because I would listen to the radio nonstop.
Yeah.
And every song you're saying, I remember listening to in my apartment at school.
Now we have Weezer's attempt at getting heavy with Say It Ain't So.
Weezer.
Starts really slow, and then like the chorus is like a little bit heavier. U2 still being relevant in 95 here with Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me off the Batman Forever soundtrack.
I like this song.
It was a good song.
It was very different from them. It was very metally.
There were two huge songs off the Batman Forever soundtrack. It was this and Seal.
Yeah, Seal. Right. Kiss from a Rose
That's
or something.
the one. Bush, Little Things.
And Lump.
And
Presidents
Lump from
of
Presidents of the United States. Lump and Peaches. Two great songs, man.
That's good. I love it.
96, an album that I loved and now I'm completely sick of, Sublime, What I Got.
Yeah, never got into them.
No?
Nope.
Like that reggae rock was becoming a real thing because really, No Doubt was doing the same thing.
Yeah, it was that there was a ska movement.
Yes.
And people were kind of picking up on the Mighty Boss Tones, what they were doing.
I went to school with kids that were like insanely huge ska heads, and they were like, oh, Moon Records, like we love ska because nobody knows what ska is. They were like completely counterculture kids. When the Mighty Boss Tones blew up, I was like, yeah, fuck you. I loved it.
Mighty Boss Tones are one of those bands that have awesome songs, and then when they got commercial, everything to me just sounded exactly the same and vanilla.
Dickie just sold the fuck out.
Yeah, they did. They did. A lot of bands do.
I know. Also happening there in 96, beyond Sublime, we got Oasis's Champagne Supernova.
Supernova? Is that a...
That's how he says it in the song.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's how you would say it if you lived in New York City.
Yeah. Smashing Pumpkins, Tonight. This is when Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness double album came out. And a band I got really into and still enjoy, Rage Against the Machine, Bulls on Parade.
Don't skip Space Hog in the meantime.
Oh, I miss Space Hog. Yeah.
I like that song. We play that too.
That's a good one. Beck. I'm very much into Beck.
Love Beck.
Where It's At. But honestly, Loser was bigger than that for me before, you know?
Yeah.
Green Days, Brain Stewed and Jaded. I was less of a fan of that. Like Green Day's fourth and fifth albums, I just didn't care for.
I don't even know that song.
I think I had Dookie, and then I had like the American Idiot, and that's all I really had from them. 311, speaking of like that ska Jamaican sound, they were doing Down. I had that album. I
saw them more as funky, and I was into funky rock, funky metal.
Okay.
Not that it
like
was
a
metal.
Jamiroquai?
Nah, more like I told you I love Extreme. Like they were funky rock.
True. That's true.
So I see 311 being kind of like somewhere between Extreme and Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Soundgarden's Pretty News.
Yeah, good
song. Stone Temple Pilots, Big Bang Baby.
Yeah.
Less of a fan of that one. Marilyn Manson coming on the scene here in 96. Sweet Dreams, Cover the Eurythmics.
Yeah, I never got into Marilyn Manson either.
Nah, he was always a shock value for me. I never really much cared.
Yeah.
Of any song I cared, like this was a cool one, but that was it.
Beautiful People I liked.
Oh, that's true. That opening, that's a great opening.
A good. When I was at Penn State, they played a place called the Crowbar, which is right on College Ave.
Yeah.
And I didn't go see them, but I was out in that area, and I saw the entire band walk to the McDonald's next door. It was Marilyn Manson.
And Twiggy?
They were all there, all in full costume, going to the McDonald's.
Yeah, and then you like follow up Marilyn Manson here with Sweet Dreams. You have just, again, weak ass shit with Bush's Machine Head and the Cardigans' Love Fool. Like, that, why is that on this list?
Yeah.
And you got Cake. Cake is fine. I like Cake in the Distance. That was like that more quirky, almost like a Primus type. It's good music, but it's like weird.
Cake is a great band.
Cake is fun.
If you listen to some of their albums, they're like
I
Damn.
want a girl with a short skirt and a long
And they got that whatever that
jacket.
whatever that clicker is. Every song has that.
Yeah.
That little percussive.
I can't do it. But
I can't either.
Yeah. And then to wrap it up with 96 here. Oh, Metallica's Until It Sleeps. Yep.
And that was the Load album, right? That
was the Load album.
Yeah.
Oh, Alanis Morissette still being relevant with Head Over Feet, which was not a great one for me.
So another year, the same album is still producing hits.
Same album. Yeah.
She was huge.
97 is my junior year in high school. Foo Fighters, Monkey Wrench. Foo Fighters' second album, I think this was.
Yeah, that was a good song.
I liked it. Was it the best? Sure as hell was better than Sugar Ray's Fly.
Ugh, another band
Fuck
I could
that guy.
do without.
Offspring's second album, Gone Away.
They started to get long in the tooth for me.
It was a one-trick pony, really. Harvey Danger, Flagpole Sitta.
Yeah, not a fan of that song.
Much like that. Very much in the same vein. Blur's Song 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
We do that song in the band, too.
do you do the one, who's the one? Toadies.
We had Toadies on the list for
Really?
a while, but we were having trouble with it, so it fell off the list. But yeah, that was on there. I like
very
that
much,
song.
I do like that song, but it's very much in the same vein as what we got going on with Harvey Danger and Blur. Matchbox 20, Push. Ugh.
Yeah, things are getting a little wimpy at this point.
Real wimpy. The Verve, Bittersweet Symphony. Ugh. Smash Mouth, Walking on the Sun. Fuck that guy. Radiohead, Karma Police. Radiohead was, again, not forefront all over the radio. Like
No.
the only thing you ever got from Radiohead was
Creep.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that this made it as a hit. Karma Police is a decent song, but it wasn't a big song. I didn't think it was a big song. Maybe, well, Loudwire says I'm wrong.
Yeah, they say you're wrong. Sublime, much like Alanis, second year, same album, Wrong Way.
Yep.
Because after Sublime's self-titled album came out, like, didn't Brad die of a heroin overdose?
Yeah, I don't think he
I don't
put
think they
out...
produced anything beyond, or new music anyway, came out anything beyond that self-titled album.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Wasn't a fan.
Depeche Mode, It's No Good.
I don't even know that song.
I don't think I do either.
Third Eye Blind, The Graduate. Yeah, hated all this.
And then Rammstein, Du hast.
Yeah,
Du hast mich.
that's a fun song.
Yeah, I feel like this was leading us into the age of The Matrix.
So looking at this list, 97 is when shit started to go downhill pretty fast. Because now 98 doesn't look much better.
98, the number one album in 98. Take it, Bill.
Goo Goo Dolls.
Iris.
I hate the Goo Goo Dolls. There's one song they do. We play it in the band. It's called Long Way Down.
Yeah.
That's a great song. And the rest are just like, I want to slide. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah.
Well, this one here, Iris, this was off the City of Angels soundtrack with Meg Ryan and Keanu Reeves.
City of Angels. I don't even remember that.
Meg Ryan for sure. I don't know who the guy was. Anyway, no good.
No good.
Shouldn't be a rock song on a rock list. Anything better coming out? Eve 6 is Inside Out. Metallica's Fuel. And we're getting into Everlast, What It's Like. Dude, go back to House of Pain, huh?
Yeah, that song annoyed me, but everybody loved it.
Beastie Boys Intergalactic. This is where I was at this time.
I was always into Beastie Boys, yeah.
Always.
I forgot how much I liked them in the 90s.
Yep.
Every once in a while, I get on the Beastie Boys kick.
This was the Hello Nasty album when it came out. This was like my senior year. And then my friends were all into Korn. Got the Life came out that year. Semisonic's Closing Time. Third Eye Blind. Like, they always, well, it just might as well be the same band, honestly.
Yeah.
Aerosmith, Don't Want to Miss a Thing. Fucking Armageddon soundtrack. Like, ugh. Garbage. Push It.
I like some Garbage songs,
Garbage
but I
is
don't remember.
okay.
Push It. What is Push It?
I don't know.
Push It Real Good. I don't think it was the Salt and
That was
Pepper
not
cover.
it. Whole Celebrity Skin. I did not care for Courtney Love. Still don't.
The Flies was a hit. Got You Where I Want You.
I don't know who the Flies are.
I remember that song, but I don't remember it being that big.
Lenny Kravitz, Fly Away.
Lenny Kravitz I like.
I do like Lenny Kravitz.
Yeah.
Is he rock?
Yeah. He's rock.
Yeah, but I don't know. Fly Away was not as good as
I'm going to go your way.
Are You Gonna Go
Are you
My
going
Way?
to go my way?
Yeah, other way around. You got it. System of a Down, Sugar. This is where I was at too.
Yeah, I didn't listen to much of them.
Fuel, Shimmer. Fuel toured around here a lot.
I didn't like Fuel.
Kenny Wayne Shepherd, Blue on Black. I don't know that at all.
Oh, that's a big song.
Really?
If I played it for you, you'd go, oh, I know this song.
I probably would. And then we have Godsmack, Whatever.
Godsmack was interesting because they were like a metal band that somehow had pop hits. They were on regular rock radio.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of them, but they were pretty heavy.
Now we're at the last year of the decade, 1999. This is college-age Scott going to Penn State. Number 1, Limp Bizkit's Nookie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even
I had it, but I'm not proud of it.
I didn't own any of their albums.
Ugh. What else was happening? Red Hot Chili Peppers, Scar Tissue. Len Steal My Sunshine.
It was a fun song. It was nice.
Yeah. Blink 182's What's My Age Again?
Hate this band with a passion.
I know. Young kids were in high school at this time. They were big into Blink 182. Smash Mouth again, All Star. Santana had his resurgence with Rob Thomas and Smooth. That's when he did like that duet album with a bunch of people.
Right.
I could do without all of it.
So could I.
Creed.
Hated Creed.
You fucking kidding me? Do I have to say anything more than Creed?
They're having a comeback right now.
I know. They're touring. Tonic.
Yep. Stinker.
The Offspring still around, but the kids aren't all right. And now we're getting into some heavy stuff again. We have Slipknot. Wait and Bleed.
I don't know what it was with the heavy metal stuff at this time. I just thought it was all stupid and boring and homogenized nonsense. So I skipped them. I skipped Slipknot. I skipped Korn. And I know people are going to be like, you're an idiot. Those bands are so different. But I just didn't hear anything special about them.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. And then Kid Rock was coming on the scene here. With I guess Ba Wada Ba would have already been out. But here we have Cowboy.
I remember that.
I do too. I'm not happy about it, but I remember it. Stone Temple Pilots with Down. They're still relevant at this point. And then Power Man 5000, When Worlds Collide.
I went to a Kid Rock concert because
Really?
I had backstage tickets. And I hung out, and it was Kid Rock and Power Man 5000, and they only had that one hit. The singer of Power Man 5000 is the brother of, actually was on the list. I think we skipped it. I thought I saw Rob Zombie on here, but we didn't say it.
It was always White Zombie, I think.
Oh,
Power Man 5000 is Rob Zombie's brother?
Yeah, 1998. I don't think we said it. Rob Zombie's Dragula.
Oh.
So he had just gone solo, and all his stuff I thought was getting really boring. But yeah, the singer of Power Man 5000 is Rob Zombie's brother.
They had a similar sound. I didn't realize they were related.
Yeah.
I've always just considered White Zombie and Rob Zombie to be the same thing.
No, I hear a difference.
Really?
Yeah.
So that was it, man. That was the decade of the 90s. Any surprises for you in that?
Not surprises as much as it's like, oh yeah, I do remember that.
The thing that caught me off guard, like I really didn't remember there being that long of a period where hair metal or metal at all coexisted with grunge. I thought it was just like, well, this is the new thing now. Like everything else that was happening before, that's gone.
Yeah, it was 92 or 93. There were tours like Van Halen. Opening act was Alice in Chains.
Yeah.
You know, Megadeth opening act was Stone Temple Pilots.
Yeah.
Like it was a weird mix for a year.
But then like it all shifted and like there was no more metal.
Right. Or hair metal.
Or hair metal. Right. That was the biggest surprise I had. Also, I was surprised how long into the 90s Guns N' Roses remained relevant. I thought they went away like I'm thinking like 87's Appetite for Destruction was, that's what I think of when I think of Guns N' Roses. Even though I did have Use Your Illusion, like it was just like they were a late 80s thing.
No,
I forgot how long they went into the 90s.
Yeah, they survived the beginning of the 90s.
And then it all came to a crashing halt with the spaghetti incident.
Yep, what a mess that was.
Well, that's all I got from the Loudwire. Thank you, Loudwire, for the article. Gave us put some thoughts in my head. Made me remember some things. Some good, some bad.
Well, that was fun to do. That was great.
Yeah.
We're way tight on time here, so I got a bunch of news stories. Let's just fly through them.
All right.
I want to know if you've heard about some of these news stories. This one made me laugh. This is from Entertainment Weekly. Cobra Kai villain Martin Kove. You know who that is? He played Kreese.
Yeah. Sweep the leg. No surrender.
Yeah.
What's this thing? No mercy.
Yeah, that's the guy.
That's it.
Cobra Kai villain Martin Kove kicked out of fan event after allegedly biting co-star Alicia Hannah Kim.
So I saw this headline. I thought this happened while filming. I didn't realize this was at a fan event.
At a fan event.
Why would he bite her?
I don't know. He's a lunatic. He thought it was funny. He had to put out an apology. Like, yeah, I just thought it was funny. What the fuck? You don't bite people. Didn't your mother ever teach you not to bite people?
Good Lord. What did he hope to gain from that? Like, oh, this guy's funny?
I don't know. Sometimes these guys are so loony in Hollywood.
This ranks up there with like the Biden sniffing the hair and like the Mario Cuomo like giving the unwanted back rub. Like biting somebody? Like, where is this a good idea?
It's like Bill Murray when he allegedly kissed somebody on set.
Oh, yes.
They were wearing masks because it was COVID time.
Right.
And he just thought it would be funny to go up and kiss a female co-star and thinking there was no problem there because there was a mask. Like, dude, what are you thinking? Do you get so jaded in Hollywood that you think you can get away with everything?
That's just so dumb.
Oh, my God. Oh, it just made me laugh to read this. And he's apologizing. It's like, dude, you're fucked.
The only thing that made sense to me when I read this headline was that, like, it was somehow in the script that they were, like, fighting in a scene. He was like, I'm going to improvise and I'm going to bite her. And I was like, oh, that would be something. I could see somebody doing that and having that thought and it having backfired. At a fan event? That makes no goddamn sense at all.
She stopped by to say hello to him at a fan event, and that's when he grabbed her and bit her, she told police. Quote, I walked
Police
past...
were involved?
Yes, yeah.
Holy shit, this is straight up assault.
Quote, I walked past Martin Kove, tapped him on the shoulder and said hello, and he turned around, grabbed my arm, and bit down hard, almost drawing blood, Hannah Kim explained in a handwritten statement to police. I yelped and drew back, and then he grabbed my arm again to kiss it.
What?
Like, what drugs is he on? I mean, you don't do shit like that, dude.
Jesus
That was never
Christ.
okay, even in the 80s.
What a fucking dummy.
Well, that's his new legacy.
Yep.
Speaking of fan events, this is from The Independent. Star Wars fans not impressed at price for a Mark Hamill autograph.
Oh, what's he charging these days?
What do you think? I want you to guess.
Is this like they take something to him and then it's their item they're asking to get signed and they have to pay? I'm going to guess $250.
Higher.
Higher than $250. I don't know. Tell me it's less than $5.
It's less than $5.
All right, $4.25.
$400.
$400.
That's
okay.
his asking price for an autograph.
That's insane.
Prices for his autograph at a fan expo event were listed as $400 for an 8x10 photo, $500 for a premium autograph, whatever that is, and $700 for a bulky autograph.
I think a premium autograph is where he'll like make it out. To Bill, use the force.
For an extra $100, he'll write a couple more words.
Yep. I bet you that's what it is.
Fuck, man. Fuck, that's a lot of money for an autograph.
At least you're getting the 8x10. I thought you were going to have to bring your own 8x10.
Would you ever pay that kind of money?
No. Never.
I'm thinking about my friends when I used to go to these fan expos and they would stand in line for these celebrity autographs. I never did that.
No.
But they would do that. And I can't imagine how much money they've actually spent on all those autographs. What do you do with them?
That's my whole thing with it. What do I care?
I mean, if you're not going to sell them on eBay, I don't really see the value in them.
It's my nest egg. Them and the Beanie Babies.
For a while, selling autographs on eBay, which is what these guys did, I never got involved in all that. But yeah, they'd get these index cards signed. They'd have them framed. They'd put money into like putting a presentation together and then put them on eBay.
Yeah.
And they sold. And then for a while, they stopped selling. And now people are like, who wants to buy an autograph unless you're a super diehard fan?
Right.
But it's Mark Hamill. But $400 is just, that's excessive.
Yeah.
Now, Harrison Ford, I might pay $400 for. No, I'm kidding. But he's way bigger than, in my mind,
bigger than Mark
Hamill.
Hamill. I could justify that more. I mean, that's Indiana Jones and Han Solo.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like, he did a lot more.
Oh, all right. So to keep us moving, here's a story that you sent over. You wrote in the text, do not like this, or something like that. From Hollywood Reporter, a very young Frankenstein comedy in the works at FX, Mel Brooks executive producing.
So, yeah, I mean, Mel Brooks just seems to be rehashing everything. Like I said last week, I'm okay with Spaceballs 2. I kind of like the humor in that sneak peek trailer kind of thing, like that teaser trailer. A very young Frankenstein. We don't have Gene Wilder. We don't have Cloris Leachman anymore. We don't have Danny.
Well, what's his name? Not Danny Boyle.
I was going to say Danny Boyle was a director.
Yeah.
It's Boyle, Peter Boyle.
Peter Boyle.
It was Boyle, but not Danny. The only good thing this has going for it is the people involved with it are the same people that did What We Do in the Shadows.
Terry Garr is gone.
Yeah, they're like all gone.
Mel Brooks outlived them all. And
All
he's
of
like,
them.
he's 92. How involved is he on this?
Right.
Do you think he just sold? Basically, when you're a producer, you play different roles. There's different kinds of producers. How active do you think he's actually in, making these? I guess he's involved in. He's definitely involved in Spaceballs too, because he did the trailer thing.
But do you think he's actually writing or just giving like final approval?
The latter.
Yeah.
That's what I think. That's what I'm worried about.
I'm right in thinking that Cloris Leachman's dead, right? Like last thing she did was Malcolm in the Middle.
I don't even know she was in Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah, she played, I don't know if it was Hal's mom or the mom's mom.
Yeah, I don't know. She's funny too.
She's hilarious.
Yeah, they're all gone. What about Madeline Kahn? Was she in Young Frankenstein? Is she still around?
Oh yeah, she played the bride, the young girl.
Yeah.
Is she still around though? I couldn't tell you that.
She might. I haven't heard about her dying.
But I haven't heard from her in forever.
Yeah, it seems like she retired.
She might be the last of them. Her and Mel Brooks.
Maybe she'll be the cameo in this, just like supposedly Rick Moranis is appearing in Spaceballs too.
I hope so.
I hope it's not a cameo. I hope he's playing because he's retired from Hollywood.
Dark Helmet.
I hope he's playing a role. I hope he's in it for a while.
I hope so too.
That would be dumb if it were just a, hey, I'm here and I'm out. Showed up for a day.
I can't breathe in this damn thing.
He was the best.
He was.
Did you hear the news that the guy who plays the Punisher, John Barenthal, is appearing in the new Spider-Man movie as the Punisher?
Is it appearing or is it like, is he the bad guy? Because the Punisher's first appearance ever was Spider-Man number 135, To Catch a Spider.
Nice that you know that. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what his role is or how big his role is, rather.
And that was like Punisher with like the big white boots.
Yeah.
He still had the skull on his chest.
Yeah, I remember the cover.
He had like the bandolier.
I had that issue.
Yeah.
What did I do with all my comic books? They're gone.
I know.
Remember thinking comic books would one day
that was my
explode in value?
nest egg. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I had like G.I. Joe issue number 3. And I thought I had something special there. Now I think it's worth like 25 cents.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have sold it when it was hot.
That's right.
Oh, well.
That's right.
But that makes me think that this new Spider-Man movie is going to be really street level, which is what I love. I want to see Spider-Man swinging around New York. I don't always need to see him in fucking space dealing with cosmic shit and magic.
I guess my other question is this Sony's Spider-Man or Marvel's Spider-Man?
Marvel. Yeah, this is
This is Disney.
Disney, yeah.
Because that's the only way they could have gotten John Barenthal.
Right.
Because he is Disney.
Right. So thinking about his role and that universe that is the Daredevil Born Again show.
Yeah.
You know, this is going to tie right into that. So it would be weird not to see Daredevil show up in this Spider-Man movie.
And I do like that because I really felt, as much as they were saying, oh, John Barenthal's Punisher is going to be in this revival of Daredevil, I really felt they pissed him away.
Yeah.
They didn't use him.
Not really. It was just, that was a cameo.
Yeah. I hope this is more than that.
Well, he's got his own show coming out, too.
Punisher has a standalone show coming out?
Yeah, they announced that.
Is it running right after Ironheart?
Ugh. That show sucks.
I know.
Got review bombed. I like when they do that.
Did it?
Yeah. So it's like reviews are like really low. It's down there like Secret Invasion bad.
But usually they do that when it's like a social war kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like when they're fighting the social wars, that's when they review bomb something because somebody didn't like the way somebody did something because it has political meaning or it's a dig at somebody or, you know, usually that's when they review bomb something.
Yeah, I don't know why they did it this time.
Like people tried to review bomb Barbie because it was pushing a feminist agenda. You know what I mean? Like, what's the deal? Is that what they're doing with Ironheart?
Maybe. I mean, I watched the first 3 episodes. Every character is about as obnoxious as possible. And it's a very diverse show. So it could be. It could be. That's not what bothers me, the diversity or anything like that. It's just a bad show. It's just another poorly written show from the... And this show was done like years ago.
But wasn't the comic like this was going to be the replacement for Iron Man?
That's what it. Yeah.
I hate that. That's why I would review bomb it if I cared enough to watch it.
Yeah, the weird thing about this show is the spoiler for anybody who wants to see it, but it's a group of people that are going after filthy rich people and trying to like get money from them.
Oh,
right. So it's going after the Elon Musk types and the super rich Bill Gates types. Like that's the enemy.
So
that this group
are
is
the
going
rich
after.
people being portrayed? They're being portrayed as the bad guy. They're the antagonist, or are these people like Robin Hood? Like maybe they're anti-heroes.
That's it. Yeah,
they're anti-heroes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But meanwhile, right, she's joined this crew, so she's basically a bad guy. She's trying to make money to build her suit. But her idol is Tony Stark.
Who's the richest guy in the world.
So it's like, what's going on here? Yeah, the whole show is just all over the place.
That's kind of a thin premise.
Yeah. Well, here's one last thing. It definitely a thin premise. Here's one last thing because I want you to get out to your kid's party.
Yeah.
So Friday the 13th is returning to our screens after more than a decade. This is from Collider. This is interesting to me, not only because I'm a huge fan of Friday the 13th, but what they're putting out is different than what you'd expect. So we finally know when this is from the article. We finally know when Jason Voorhees is coming back. Horror Inc., which is the new company that's been created since the whole lawsuit happened.
Yeah.
Right. So Horror Inc. has announced that the horror icon will return in Sweet Revenge, an upcoming short film centered around the unforgettable villain. The production company hired Mike P. Nelson, whoever that is, in order to allow audiences to be reunited with the beloved slasher villain. So they're making a short film that's going to play on Horror Inc.'s YouTube channel.
Really?
So it's almost like they're making a fan movie. They're making a YouTube movie.
I'm surprised they're talking about Friday the 13th having not been out for a decade, because haven't we had Camp Crystal Lake?
That show's in production.
Oh, it never came out?
Never came out.
Oh, I thought it was out.
No, it's still, no, not yet.
Interesting. All right.
But instead of a major theater release or a big movie, they're just making a YouTube thing.
I mean, if kids nowadays are like obsessed with Terrorizer or Terrifier or whatever the fuck that slasher thing is, and I know What You Did Last Summer is coming out this week, or maybe it came out yesterday, I don't know. Like, maybe they're just kind of floating this out there on the interwebs to get people talking and caring about Jason.
I mean, it's got its built-in fans way more than I Know What You Did Last Summer.
For sure.
People still love Jason. I do. There's a lot of shit you can do with it, and, again, I sometimes bitch about bringing things back from the past, but this is something that I'm okay with if you do it well.
But you're better off having it be on YouTube because you don't go to the movies.
Yeah, so I'm okay.
So that's my thing. Like, that's what they're trying to get it out to you, but also grow a new fan base as well.
Yeah. But
that will spend money to go see it and not just stream it.
But just the thought that they're going to make their money back by putting it on YouTube, and they probably will because they're going to have ads all over it, and they're going to monetize it that way.
Yeah.
Like, I've been waiting for major production companies to just start dumping things on YouTube, and this sounds like it's starting to happen.
Well, and this short is certainly not an end-all, be-all. This short is a vehicle to a much bigger, hyped-up, brand-new theatrical release.
That's my other question. Is this a 15-minute thing? Is it an hour? What are you calling a short?
I picture this being anywhere from 15 to 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So more of a teaser.
I would have it be a cliffhanger.
Yeah. All right, well, let's wrap it up. My dogs are barking. I don't know if that's coming through the mic. But
that makes it sound like your feet are hurting.
My dogs are
your dogs are literally upstairs
actually
barking.
All
right, man. Well, good catching up. Thanks, everybody, for listening in, and we'll talk to you next week.